need it. Out here say I ain't got it. Both guard the game, too proud. Who gon' stop me?
Now, for those of you that don't know, Kodak Black is officially one of my favorite new school acts. I judge this man by his antics without actually listening to his music. But when I heard his 2016 mixtape Lil Big Pac, my thoughts about him being trash were a thing of the past.
Never ducking from you, peon. I ain't fool yet. Kept it real since the begun. I ain't told yet.
One of the things that I've always kind of admired about Kodak was his ability to always speak his mind, no matter how bizarre he may sound. I could name a few occasions where he's done this, but for now let's talk about an instance that's very obscure. Sometime last year, Kodak Black would go live on Instagram to tell a tale about how he punched Onyx member Sticky Fingers in the face. Now, before I share with you guys what Kodak said, I just want to say that I honestly don't believe Kodak's story, as it sounds very unrealistic. Like, I just don't see Kodak punching Sticky Fingers in the face. But anyway, Kodak would say that Sticky Fingers randomly appeared on his tour bus. He would then later say that his cousin let Sticky on the bus. Kodak would then say that Sticky was on his tour bus dancing and acting crazy. In short, Kodak said he didn't like Sticky Fingers' old head energy. This causes Kodak to get up out of his seat and punch Sticky Fingers in the face. He then said that he snatched Sticky's bag and opened it up. This is where he would then notice that Sticky had a gun. Kodak would retrieve the gun from Sticky's bag and attempt to shoot Sticky. This is where he then found out that the gun was fake. This led to Kodak saying that this dude really is an actor. He then said that Sticky would run from him and go get security. Now, I don't believe this one bit, but I do think Kodak's capping is hilarious. Like, there is no way he did this to Sticky, cause that boy Sticky look like he'll eat somebody's face off. But once Kodak told this story, Sticky wouldn't take it lightly, as he quickly denied it. He would then release a diss track aimed at Kodak Black called Bust Down Light Up. On this track, he would deny an altercation ever happening, as Kodak probably conjured up the story, being that he was a heavy drug user. Sticky then says that Kodak is an obvious rapper perpetrating like he's gangster. He asked Kodak who has he ever beat up and who has he ever shot. The diss track itself is quite refreshing, as it's reminiscing to how diss tracks used to be, bluntly calling out your opponent and just going completely in on them. This track also has that old Onyx feel to it, which consists of elements of heightness and intensity.
You're mumbling, got caught in your own trap. Bet your dad, that fuckboy Kodak Black put Sticky Fingers in the face. Where the fuck was I at? You drinking too much lean, smoking too much crack. This nigga barely out of season, he looking old as crap. You dry stitch a nigga, know you a rat. And you look like Crazy Eyes from Orange to New Black.
But after this diss track, there will be no further responses from either party, as Kodak will find himself in legal trouble, leading him to be charged with multiple crimes. He would eventually get locked up and is currently serving his prison sentence. When Sticky heard about Kodak's tragic predicament, he sympathized with him by saying that he doesn't wish that kind of ordeal on his worst enemy. He also went on to say that there was never no real beef between him and Kodak, and he wishes that he gets out of prison soon, as he's a superstar with a ton of talent.
Only time will tell who died. Only time will tell.
In 2018, the Migos would go over to Big Boy TV and say a very controversial statement. Big Boy would ask the Migos, do they believe that they're the biggest hip-hop group right now? And the Migos will reply by saying that they're the greatest group of all time across all genres.
Do y'all feel like, man, that Migos, and no disrespect to anything, are the biggest group in hip-hop right now?
We the biggest group ever. That way.
Go ahead now.
Got to be. Ever in hip hop, pop, all that, because every genre is motivated or structured music is right now off us.
Now, if you know my stance on GOAT Talk, then you know that I believe that the Migos have a valid point because they meet all the criterias of being one of the greatest acts in music. Love them or hate them, it's just facts. When Migos would make this statement, many old school rappers and commenters from all over would chime in and give their thoughts on what Migos said. Some would agree with their statement and others wouldn't. One person that wouldn't agree with the Migos is Bone Thugs and Harmony member Lazy Bone. Lazy would quickly take to Instagram and let the Migos know that they're not the best rap group of all time, as they will have to surpass Bone Thugs first and a lot of other rap groups such as NWA, Outkast, and the Beastie Boys.
I'm just here to set the record straight. Bone Thugs and Harmony, we still all five live, baby. Crazy, Busy, Wish, Flesh, and myself, Lazy Bone. We the best, you dig? The biggest to ever done it. Migos, sit down, we gonna shut y'all down for 2019. Y'all little niggas talk too much.
As soon as Lazy Bone would announce this, Migos member Offset would respond to Lazy Bone on his Instagram story by saying Lazy Bone doesn't even have $1 million to put up in order to back up his statement. He would also call him an old nigga as well. Lazy Bone wouldn't take this lightly, as he would release a diss track aimed at the Migos called Let Me Go Me Go. He would also diss 21 Savage on this track as well. Basically, the synopsis of Lazy's diss track is that the Migos are ignorant for making their statement without paying homage to those before them. He also says that Bone Thugs have never faded out and they're still relevant. Now, if I'm being perfectly honest, this diss track wasn't all that great. Don't get me wrong, Lazy Bone is definitely the OG, but this one was not it. After Lazy Bone would release this diss track, 21 Savage would go live on Instagram to make fun of Lazy Bone's diss track by saying it's trash. He would also let Lazy Bone and any other old head know that he doesn't do diss tracks as he settles his beefs with gun violence. He would also cross the line even further and speaks on how he would pipe down Lazy Bone's wife. This led to Bizzy Bone coming to defend his brother in one of the most hilarious Instagram lives I've ever seen. On Bizzy's Instagram live, he lets 21 Savage know that he isn't the only one that has guns. Bizzy then proceeds to pull out an old antique gun, which appeared to be a musket.
You think I'm playing with you, nigga, don't you? Blow your motherfucking head off, nigga. You ain't the only nigga with guns.
Cops would show up at his door, causing Bizzy to become a little frantic. This led to the internet ultimately clowning Bizzy for his choice of weapon and getting arrested by the police. Crazy Bone would then jump in the mix with a different approach. He would not condone the behavior of his Bone brother, as rap should never lead to both parties pulling out guns and saying that they're gonna harm each other. Crazy strictly wants the beef to stay on wax. He also agrees that the Migos should feel like they're the best rap group, but he also believes if they make that claim, that they must accept competition from the OGs. Of course, the Migos and 21 Savage didn't accept the challenge, but this didn't stop Crazy Bone from releasing a diss track aimed at the Migos and 21 Savage called Assassin. First thing I must mention is that Crazy's diss track is much better than Lazy's. On Crazy's diss track, it has pretty much the same subject matter as Lazy's track, but Crazy comes with an overall better flow and delivery.
I hear a lot of rappers up proclaiming titles, but they can't maintain survival if they can't sustain the right flow. They ask me how I feel.
But the obscure and best diss tracks from this entire beef come from Bizzy Bone. And I'm not just saying this because he's my favorite Bone member. I'm saying it because he came with the more creative diss tracks. The first diss track he dropped was called Carbon Monoxide, and here he lets out all his frustrations in a super metaphoric way. One thing to note is that Bizzy switches up his flow here in order for the listener to digest every line in his lyrics.
BG, I'm a Naki fan. I hit you with one of these combinations, how you going through complications, and then I do my Takashi dance.
This track right here is a definite must listen, as both the song and video is full of creativity. Bizzy would also drop another dope track called Enigma. Here he fully embraces the jokes that were being made about him when it came to his weapon of choice during his Instagram live. He also sends shots to Big Boy, and he also continues to diss the Migos as well. Another thing he does here is talk about all the people that Bone Thugs influenced, which adds to the conversation of who's the GOAT. This track was another fire diss at the Migos, and both tracks are criminally underrated in my opinion.
Said it all, say shorty got the mall spurt. Man, a gun so big it'll blow a nigga brain in the crosswords. Little Ricky better run swerve, is that sauce?
But in conclusion, Bizzy would let the world know that 21 Savage apologized to Lazy Bone about what he said about his wife. And this is pretty much where this beef ends, as Migos and Bone Thugs never officially squashed it. Bizzy would also say that 21 Savage was still going around saying that Bone Thugs are irrelevant and broke. So yeah, but what I will say is that we got some pretty amazing diss tracks out of this beef, and this also led to Bizzy Bone dropping a solo album called Carbon Monoxide, and yes, it's fire. So I would like to personally thank the Migos and 21 Savage for giving Bone Thugs the motivation to continue to release good music.
Step into the club looking just like a pimp. We got cash, so we screaming out, say something.
In 2010, Lil B the Bass God would step on the scene. He was once a part of the rap group The Pack, in which they reached minor success with their songs called Vans and another hilarious track called My Car. Once The Pack went their separate ways, Lil B would then pursue a solo career. He would soon drop a viral hit called Wonton Soup. This track right here would mark the beginning of swag rap, with Lil B being its godfather.
Like ENIGMA, young bass God, and I've been doing my thing.
In short, swag rap is simply rap that is not cohesive in any way, as its subject matter only consists of things pertaining to swag. These things are girls, money, cars, clothes, and etc. Lil B made it popular to say anything on the track, no matter if it rhymed or made sense. This would quickly lead to a ton of people calling Lil B trash, and by Lil B receiving the trash label meant that he was now a target for MCs. One MC that would take aim at Lil B is David Banner. A year later, David Banner would release a track called Swag. Although Banner never said Lil B's name specifically, it was obvious who he was referring to. David Banner took it upon himself to denounce the swag era by saying that it's destroying the minds of the youth. He also says that swag rap is another way to steer impressionable minds away from real issues plaguing the communities. He also mimics Lil B's rap style by repeating his many ad-libs.
At a white cop shoot a black kid, you will see a few tweets that's it. We'll march for a minute, that's it. Get a new outfit and a dance like this.
Now, if y'all don't know how I feel about this way of thinking, let me tell you. I've always been one against blaming the troubles of the youth on music and other sources of entertainment. I believe that a youth's mind is corrupted is due to the fact of their actual living conditions and actual people that they see as role models. That plays more of a part than the music that's being promoted. Cause back when there wasn't a such thing as negative rap, people were still crazy and babies were still being born out of wedlock. But minus my disagreements of David Banner's points, his track was still decent. Unlike the previous new school rappers mentioned in this video, Lil B actually responded to OG rappers that dissed him, and he usually came out as the victor. Once Lil B heard David Banner's track, he would then respond to David Banner with a diss track called I Own Swag. He would take David Banner's swag beat and speed it up in order to diss him relentlessly. The bass god holds nothing back as he comes with some serious bars explaining why he's the GOAT, from toting the tech and hitting any chick he wants. He also lets David Banner know that he can't do what he do, as he's irrelevant and he's on top of the game. But the highlight for me is near the end of this track where Lil B says that he ripped David Banner's beat better than he did. He also tells David Banner to stay in his own lane and to never step to the bass god.
So don't ever speak on Lil B. You might get your ass ate through the back. No poke.
Wait. What did that boy Lil B just say?
You might get your ass ate through the back.
Oh no, homie. Big pause on that, kid. Like that right there almost cost you the L. But since it's the bass god, I gotta go ahead and let him slide, as he completely bodied David Banner on this track. Like, I don't think I can name another new age artist that bodied as many OG rappers as Lil B. But this feud would quickly end as Lil B would take to Twitter and tell his followers that he chopped it up with David Banner over the phone, leading to the beef being squashed. As I always say, it's good when these beefs get squashed, as that's what hip-hop is supposed to be about. And I also gotta say that Lil B has to be one of the most underappreciated artists of our time. No matter if you like him or not, he's been a major influence to the new wave of rappers we have today. He made having fun and doing whatever you want on songs popular. He also took a lot of beatings from the older generation for his rap style as well. But in the end, he always came out strong, as he wasn't a pushover. Like, you gotta respect Lil B for that.
You know I'm more famous than you, and I can